Honest thoughts. You guys are here for honest review like of Lighter. I've shown you a bit of the showcase already of what he does. But at the end of the day, the question is he worth it or not? I honestly wanted to skip Lighter if I lost my 50-50. The reason is because I think that Lighter is a character that you'll pull more likely on his rerun than on his current banner. If you are a person that recently just joined after 1.1, which is a lot of people, right? Not everyone started on day 1. Then you would not have Alan. So if you do not have Alan at all, then who are you left with? You are really left with Soldier 11. Very little people will be able to use Lighter right now. That being said, he is a really strong character if you have these two characters. The thing is, we need more characters to come in the game. Like, maybe we don't even have an A rank Ice. So Lighter is unfortunately sandwiched between very strong characters. We just came out of a Yanagi. We are going into a Miyabi. You go into a Harumasa. The real reason why his value might drop quite significantly is because two characters exist. And I'm not even talking about Koleda. I'm not even talking about Lycan, who are kind of like substitutes for him. The reality is this character exists, and this character exists. And for the people that cannot use Lighter, who didn't start from day 1, or didn't have Soldier 11, which means that you are a very early game player, or early to mid game player, which is very contradicting, because this group of people would want versatility rather than niching down. So the only people that care about niching down might be your day 1 players, such as the account that you see over here, and that is the only people that will probably benefit from Lighter right now. And that is my honest opinion of, like, in general, the landscape, why Lighter feels much better in a rerun than now. Okay, bad stuff aside, he is a very strong unit. Let's say there's a meta fire limited character already, super meta, super good. He's definitely T0, like he's super strong. The problem is we do not have that meta fire DPS right now, and Ellen's like, not everyone has her, and she's not exactly the best character in consistency across the many patches that we have seen so far. But Lighter does a lot. He gives you Ice Rest Shred of 15% that lasts 30 seconds. At the same time, your additional ability, this entire wall of text here, you get a 25% if you have just 170 impact, 25% ice damage bonus, and fire damage bonus. But at the same time, if you have the resources or gear that you somehow can push up to 370, that 25% elemental damage bonus for ice and fire now becomes 75%. That is very massive. 50% difference. So this character solid overall. You get elemental damage bonus, you get a lot of ice rest shred, and you get a lot of impact percentage also. And he also is really fun to play. So he plays like a Street Fighter character that is really exciting as well. Very engaging playstyle. He has that dodge mechanic. So he's like sidestep, punch, sidestep, punch, sidestep, punch. Super fun. Between him and Ting Yi, I feel like Lighter is harder to play. His skill cap is higher, but he's like a Jane Doe. Once you get the hang of him, like he's like super strong. I honestly think this character is better to pull in a rerun rather than right now. If you lost a 50-50 or something, you're trying to get him, don't feel too bad. And those of you who love him, you get him, don't worry, he's a very strong unit. Just that his value is more long term. But now looking at his signature, this one is tempting though. This one is tempting. I get turned on by the fact that it's 18% 1. He has 713 base attack, so it's very fantastic. And then he also caps off with like 25% impact increase for 8 seconds, which is also really nice. When he gives this wilt stacks, which is basically his combo punching, 30 seconds, stacking out to 20 times, you get a crit damage of ice and fire damage bonus by 1.5%. This is like 30% crit damage, plus it gives him so much stats that he needs, which also buffs ice damage and fire damage bonus, because he converts impact percentage over to ice and damage bonus, right? And the thing is, most fire characters have a lot of crit rate, right? Because the burning set in the game, you get a crit rate bonus by 28%. This converts to a 56% crit damage equivalent. Plus, you can couple that with a 2-piece Woodpecker Electro to basically get a 36% crit rate for free. Basically for free, without like substats. You slap on like a Note 4 crit rate, you're done. You don't even need any more crit rate. Then just stack everything else in the crit damage. Which is why Lighter's signature is actually very attractive on him. Aside from Lighter, who else can use this shit, right? How versatile is it, and why am I so tempted to get it? Can Lycan and Koleda use this? Because if you don't pull Lighter and just want to get this for this massive crit damage, ice damage bonus, fire damage bonus, is it worth it? 713 is a lot which Koleda and Lycan both can use. Impact percentage, everyone can use it. Maybe the quick assist and perfect assist is a little bit trickier because Collator and Lycan might not get this part very well. At the same time, if you basic attack them, which Lycan kind of does as well, a little bit, Collator also a little bit as well, they do want to like punch enemies a while and you get these massive stacks. So you just like use them on field 20 times, which I think they definitely can do. So that's why like this is like super tempting because both Collator and Lycan can use this for themselves. But even if you don't, can I even just slap this on Qingyi and she becomes an ice damage and fire damage dealer buffer? Imagine if you just slap this on Qingyi, right? If I use this on Qingyi, she uses a lot of basic attacks also, right? And then she buffs ice and fire damage bonus of 30% crit damage. So now Qingyi becomes your specialist in fire and ice teams with this signature. And then this becomes like super good, right? For her as well. So I really like this a lot too. Other than this, okay, what can he use? He likes impact percentage. Standard gear, Hellfire gears gives him the same amount of impact, slightly less base. You get more ER off field, which is great for him. He likes that. 10% impact percentage for 10 seconds, stacking up to 2 times when you use the EX special attack. He does it quite often as well. So this is not bad. 20%. For 10 seconds, this is already quite long. His signature is only like 8 seconds long. Impact percentage bonus. So this is quite nice. Restrain, another one, also at the same space stats, advanced stats. If you have any of these two are definitely good. This one gives you days. So this is the substats doesn't help him as much as Hellfire gears. Precious Fossilized Core, this is just generic. Just gives you days. Again, this offers you no value from increasing impact percentage. It's just days, which doesn't help him scale into his elemental damage bonus. This one gives you energy regen, steam oven, and your impact increases 2% for every 10 energy consumed. This is like a miniature Hellfire gears. Don't like it as much. I think impact percentage is a lot better for him. The Mara Battery Buck 3, slightly higher base attack, 15%. The bottom here is not as interesting. You're just mainly doing for the slightly higher base attack. Dodge counter, assist attack, energy regen is like 18%, which is decent. I would say they're about the same. Precious Fossilized Core and the Mara Battery Mark 2. Precious Fossilized Core maybe a bit higher. 594 base attack. This is it higher than Precious Fossilized Core? Same. And you gain 1 charge every 3 seconds, stacking up to 6 times when launching EX special attack. Consume all charges. This is not very good. It's days, which he doesn't really want. M1 lighter, let's just see his Eidolons now. Among the buffs imposed by core passive Accelerant, the collapse effect increases stun duration by 5 seconds, while further reducing ice and rest. So it's basically the punchy that he does. When he gets the ice rest and fire rest threat of 25%, now it becomes 35%. So it is 40% more effective. This extends the duration of stun by 5 seconds. So the real value here is the first 2 parts. You get a 8-second stun duration in total, and you get a 10% additional rest threat, which is really very strong. This one is like kind of meh. Like the additional 30% damage is like cherry on top. But even if they stopped at this, I think it's still worth pulling. M2, Red Scarf. When applying Collapse via core passive, Accelerant to enemies, Collapse against that stun extension. The stun damage multiplier increases by 25%. The increases to ice and fire damage provided by Elation from additional ability, Fighting Spirit, increases to 120% of the original. So you know when the enemy gets stunned, then they have like 160% damage increase when they are stunned. So M2 helps him do like a mini Qingyi, so pushing it to like 100 plus, 150 plus. 25%. The increase to ice damage, fire damage bonus provided by Elation, this is the damage bonus part, increases to 120% of the original. So his maximum was 75, so it becomes 90. Instead of a 75% buff at max, now he does a 90% buff at max. M2 is also really good. M4, for any of you like Giga Whales, when Lighter is off-field, energy regen or on-field character is increased by 10%. Upon entering the morale burst state, Lighter restores 4 energy for off-field characters. This effect can trigger once every 18 seconds. Now he becomes a support also because he comes on field, he punches, and then anyone else also gains that thing. Lighter's moral recovery efficiency increases to 200%, so you help him get his max combo faster, to help his rotations faster. And when Lighter lands a heavy strike on enemies during basic attack, blah 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 blah, many things, it will trigger this thing, dealing some more damage, so it becomes a DPS a little bit. This effect can trigger once every 8 seconds on each enemy if Lighter impacts exceeds this one. Okay, so this is a massive DPS buff. He just turns him to a damage dealer a little bit. The more powerful finishing move that follows is completely exhausted during a light punch and blah 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 blah. Yeah, this one is this is just turning him to a DPS. People that go all the way to M6 really love Lighter, so they want to like play him as much as they can. So it makes sense to like go for a damage dealing Mindscape at M6 instead of utility. So utility wise, it stops at M4. So if you are just using here as like a utility character, M4 is like good enough. But in terms of value, I would probably start at M2S1. That is the most tempting, because at M2S1, you get stun damage increase, you get mini Qingyi, you get up to 90% fire damage bonus, ice damage bonus, you get a total of 8 second stun duration extension, and a total of 35% ice rest shred. But those are just some of my thoughts. I think it's pretty decent. At this point, I highly recommend you check out these 2 other videos we have on the channel, which I think you might like. And thank you guys again so much for watching. See you in the next video.